Hello friends, I welcome you to this new session on basic course of real estate project registration in MahaRERA. We started the session on 10th of June 2024 and we will be ending after 22 sessions. Today you have a presenter who will take up the issues and then a question answer will be there at the end. This session we had to organize because we were receiving a lot of requests across India from the chartered accountant who want to enter into the new area of practice to start this basic course so that they can enter into the advanced courses. We have conducted n number of advanced RERA courses, number of books on RERA has been done, and cooperatives, redevelopment, GST, income tax, NPO, cooperatives, so many programs have been done. So this is the opportunity for you to comment, give us the suggestion so that we can do the course. Similarly, we have also agreed to take up so many courses physical at different places, residential programs. So whatever you want, if we get more than 20 to 25 participants, we will be happy to host that program. Our aim is to empower each one of you to enter into area of practice, and wherever you get difficulties, we are there to help you. I, on behalf of Affordable Housing Welfare Organization of India and Maharashtra Societies Welfare Association, welcome you to the third session on basic course for real estate project registration in MahaRERA. There was a demand that we should train youngsters, professionals to do the handholding for the registration process of a real estate project. I welcome each one of you. We'll make this session, of course, available. Those who could not, appear or rather watch earlier two sessions, please go through our MahaSeWA news channel and you will get all those recorded sessions. We have with us today Honorable Sri Shamsundar Patil, who is a retired IAS officer, retired as the Managing Director of Mananda in Maharashtra. And then, of course, prior to that, he was the Joint Secretary in Revenue Department. Nearly 27 years he has put his service in Revenue Department, and he is the author of Stamp Duty and Registration, that is an amnesty scheme, and he also has contributed in various series of RERA and regular faculty, or rather regular faculty in various seminars. And today we are fortunate to have him as a chief guest. Sir, today we are going to discuss about the checklist. So far in the first session we discussed about section 1 to 10, what are the provisions related to RERA registration. Second session we took rules related to that, and today we are going to discuss the checklist which are required, or the documents required for the purpose of registration. That is the second stage, third stage. So thereafter we will be taking how to log in once everything is compiled. So this is how we have made into 22 sessions. So thank you for accepting our invitation and being a chief guest today. Sir, over to you for your keynote address.
Yes.
And we have with us faculty of today Swati Paradkar and Shashank Jain as a RERA leader who has put around 4 to 5 years in the RERA practice, and he is the panelist today to answer the question answer. And how we do is 10 to 15 minutes for chief guest, then 30 minutes for the presenter. She is the first time presenter, and then we get a follow-up mentor and expert, that is Shashank Jain, who mentors them, and I also mentor them. That is how we designed this for the orientation of the speakers and to empower them to come out openly in doing the RERA practice. Thank you very much. Over to you.
First of all, thank you, Ramesh Prabhu sir, for giving me opportunity to interact with all these learned persons in this seminar. Let me tell the participants that Ramesh Prabhu sir has in fact inspired me to come forward on YouTube and all in these training sessions. He also inspired me to write book on stamp duty along with him and Shreyash Prabhu, and also I participated in number of seminars along with him. He has written more than 60 books on cooperative law, redevelopment, and stamp duty, registration, conveyance. As such, he is responsible for the amendments in the provisions of Stamp Duty, Registration, and also Cooperative Societies Act in the interest of the public. And the result is that deemed conveyance came into existence. The result is that many amendments in even amnesty scheme procedure have been effected, just like scrutiny of stamp on the application. Today's session is about registration process for RERA. In earlier sessions, you might have got the idea about RERA Act as it has come into force in 2016 and then fully in 2017. It was due to delays in real estate projects. As such, this act do not only benefit the buyers but also developers as well. There are certain provisions in the interest of developer also, so that he will get timely payments from the buyers, and in the interest of uh, buyer will get the construction of his flat in time limit stipulated and without any fraud, and there will be a total transparency in construction of the project. As such, why this session is very important, because time is more important than money for developer, because his investment is at stake. And I, being for many years worked in government chair, I have seen that there are very silly mistakes in filing applications. And if the applications are not filed properly, information is not given properly, the documents are not annexed properly as expected, and if the applicant do not know the significance of these documents, then it results in rejection of the application. Queries arise from the application, and then again replying, it consumes a lot of time. So if your application is complete in all respect while applying, then chances are there that without any queries it may be accepted, it will save time. And we as professionals, maybe real estate agent, CA or lawyer engaged in this activity, will get success in getting registration for our clients. Now, I worked in revenue department, and my experience is that there are very less number of lawyers who are well versed with the land laws and land matters also. So there are multiple acts governing the provisions of land, and the basis of real estate project is the land. If your title is defective, then what happens? You go ahead with the construction, and a time comes when we get stop work notice, or we get notice from the court, or our project may be sabotaged by some miscreants also, and from the persons who are interested, but we have ignored while executing development agreement with the owners. So title search is also important. The provisions of Maharashtra Land Revenue Code, Tenancy Act, Sealing Act, then LAR Act, Transfer of Property Act, then DC rules, MRTP Act, all these relevant provisions one must know. And I'm sure in these sessions, in this course, you will know all the details of all the provisions required for real estate project. Now, you know why RERA came into force, but who needs registration under RERA? The persons who are undertaking any real estate project. They may be individual, they may be firms, they may be partnership firm or LLP. They require registration before going into construction of his real estate project. And there are some categories who are exempt, like having land less than 500 square meters, or who already got completion certificate, etc. All this information you will get afterwards from the main speakers like Srimati Swati Paradkar and Shashank Jain, and also from Sri Rameshji Prabhu. I just wanted to tell you that we should not only study RERA Act, but we should be well versed with the relevant provisions of other acts relating to land, relating to development, that is circulars of urban development department, and so on. Also, while applying, when you file documents, when you make disclosures about the what you call land developer, then you have to be very, very particular in filing this agreements, these documents, and also any lacuna in filing these documents will result in rejection and will also cost more to your client. So I will not take much of your time, But when question will arise from the field of land laws relating to this real estate project, relating to stamp duty and registration or development agreement, where adjudication for such project is necessary. Because when any developer purchases land, he should be sure that he is purchasing clear title land or whether he is purchasing litigation. If he is slack in due diligence about the title of land, then he is purchasing litigation and the project gets stuck, and he might go into losses and he might get penalties from RERA authorities. Act has done a good job having constituted adjudicating authority for speedy disposal of the disputes by the buyers and the developer. So I wish you all the best lecture series, and I'll be there when the expertise of mine is required in this series.
I request you to be there with us for a few minutes more. The first question which has come to us is, can you give me some of the examples where the applicant makes a mistake in filling the application and why the applications are getting rejected? This is asked by CA Raj Agarwal from Pune. Mr. Raj, let me tell you that when you make an application, naturally it should be foolproof. Now you were asking what are the examples where the applications are incomplete. Let me tell you, you have, let us say, a landowner on which 712 extract is in the name of Shamsundar Patil, and the approval is taken by Ramesh Prabhu as a developer, Prabhu Developers. Now, the approval is in my name, Prabhu Developers, whereas land is in the name of Shamsundar Patil, who has given a development right. Now, when I make an application, naturally I need to give application in my name as a promoter, and Shamsundar Patil, being a landowner, should be a co-promoter. But I don't fill up that detail. That means you are given incomplete information, and therefore the application gets. This is a simple case which I am giving. The second thing I'll tell you, you need to upload a title report, which Shamsundar Patilji has rightly pointed out. Now, when you give a title report, that title report has to be in a particular format. The format has been prescribed by the RERA authorities. And instead of giving in the prescribed format, you give in your own way with 2, 3, 4 line letter saying that the advocate says, I have gone through the title report and the documents related to the land and the title is clear and marketable. That will not work. So the rejection happens. So that means you should be knowing what are the documents on which I am going to give primary information. What are the connected documents? I need to get it scrutinized. Therefore, this 22 sessions, if you see after 7th, 8th session, we are going to have a pre-scrutiny form. What do you mean by pre-scrutiny form? That means instead of the RERA authority scrutinizing, we in our office will design a format which will be shared with all the participants. They will, pre-scrutiny everything before submitting to the RERA, so that there is a maker and checker concept in the office itself. So that, let us say, in the office, Swati has prepared an application. She has compiled all the data. Now, there will be Shashank Jain, who is superior to her, and she will, that Shashank Jain will verify based on the scrutiny form कि whether the 712 में जो नाम है, the name in the 712 extract is the same what we have entered as a landowner detail, whether that matches with the title report, whether the area which is mentioned in the property card is matching with the title report, whether the number of flats mentioned in the approved plan, whether that is the number of flats are shown there. So these are the various scrutiny that need to be done. So each field there will be various options. So all this will be verified, checked and informed to you. And therefore, I hope that Mr. Raj, have you got the answer to your question?
Yes, sir. There are very silly mistakes in filing application. We should not presume that this is not required and that is not required. We should first prepare a detailed checklist of whatever documents are necessary. Documents may vary depending on your status as a landowner or as a occupant class 2 owner or as a partnership firm. So if you are a partnership firm, then a registration of partnership firm is necessary. and so on. If the land is occupant class 2, then permission of the government or collector is necessary to do something on that land. And another thing is simple clerical mistakes in the document. Generally, wherever there are numericals are concerned, they are just missed while typing, and clerical error may be a cause of rejection also, or less number of documents which are required may be the cause of rejection. So you will receive queries from the office that these and these documents need to be submitted, and therefore instead of thinking that this document is not necessary, that is not necessary, you should supply all the necessary documents. You should not miss any document. You should not commit any clerical error, and all the documents should be self-attested or certified or notarized as required in filing application for registration of the your project.
Thank you, Shamsundar Patil sir. You have properly explained it. Now, there is another question from Raj Agarwal from Pune. Can you please share with us the law specifically applicable for land in the group? Agarwal, Raj, let me tell you, we'll share the detail. But let us look at the law which are applicable for transaction in a real estate. The first and foremost is, of course, Transfer of Property Act. Prior to that, it comes a Contract Act, because these are the transactions. So after the Transfer of Property Act, there is a Stamp Act where the stamp duty has to be paid. Then there is a registration to be done. And then if you are going for a development, there is a Maharashtra Regional Town Planning Act 1966. And related to the land title, there is a Maharashtra Land Revenue Code. So many laws related to land is there. I think Shamsundar Patilji, being a revenue officer, he worked in revenue department for 27 years. I think some of the land laws you can just explain so that it gives some clarity to our participants.
Yes. As such, you may also refer to the videos on YouTube about record of right, which are published by MahaSeWA. But here I'll explain.
Record of right, let me just tell the participants, record of right is a lecture given by none other than Honorable Shri Shamsundar Patilji through a PPT, which is already uploaded on the website of MahaSeWA news channel. And Raj, I think you should go through that video so that you will understand record of right means what, and the participants also will appreciate that, because as Patil sir rightly pointed out in his keynote address, it is not the only RERA which is related. You need to look at the other allied laws, periphery of the other laws, so that our practice becomes more important and it will be appreciated by the clients also. Yes, sir. Please go ahead with the land laws.
Yes. First of all, basic is Maharashtra Land Revenue Code, in which there are provisions under section 44 about change of use, that is NA permission. NA permission is done away with in urban areas, but it is now replaced by certain other procedure like taking certificate from Tahsildar that it is a class 1 or class 2 land, and then if it is class 2, then payment to the collector office, and the construction permission will only act as a NA permission. Otherwise, earlier there was huge delay in getting NA permission from the collector office. Now, no NA permission is required in Mumbai Municipal Corporation area. Okay, this is the first thing. If there is any unauthorized NA use, then there are penalties like 40 times NA assessment. About Tenancy Act. Okay, there is another section. When you go in for digging for your plinth, as whatever earth you take out is a minor mineral, and ownership lies with the government of Maharashtra under section 47. And if you, without permission, excavate and shift it to any other place, then fine up to 5 times the value of the minor mineral is levied. Secondly, if you use that material on that spot only, then no royalty or no penalty need to be paid. Then Tenancy Act. In Tenancy Act, if any tenant is there or not, you will have to take out all mutation entries from 1957 till now to check whether there is any mistake in record of right, because mutation entries are only presumptive in value and they are not conclusive. Title passes only through registered documents and not through mutation entries. Mutation entries may be changed after going in appeal or revision. So if there is any tenant and there is if tenancy act is applicable. As such, in Mumbai, except Borivali, tenancy act is not applicable because of notification under section 88 1B of tenancy act. Okay, there are
Yes,
many
sir.
provisions. I'll be very
Yeah,
short.
yeah, yeah.
Then there is one agricultural land ceiling act. If you
Correct.
are going for development in Raigad district, which is going to be third Mumbai city now, there these land laws carry weightage. So any person can hold maximum of 8 acres, 16 acres, 36 acres, or 54 acres, depending on irrigation potential of that land, as per Agricultural Land Ceiling Act 1961. So one must know these provisions also, that anybody having more than the standard area, standard land prescribed in the act, and you purchase it, you are purchasing nothing but a litigation, and that land may be forfeited, and even the amount paid will be recovered by the government. Then LAR, you must see the Sadbara of that land and see whether there is any notification, entry of notification in other rights column, like earlier act it was section 4, now it is section 24 to 26 of new LAR act. If it is that land vests in government, and any transaction of such land, even though Sadbara is in the name of any other person, it will not be considered while paying compensation, and your project will be futile on such land.
Yeah, sir, thank you very much. I think
Yes.
you have given a lot of information.
There are many.
And
It is
I know
endless. It will-
27 years of your experience you are going to share.
Sorry.
So we are on RERA subject now.
How?
Yeah.
I understand.
Now let us come to the second question from Pradnya. Sir, can NRI person be registered as a promoter? The answer is yes. Non-resident can be a promoter. There is no problem. There is no bar. So only thing, the rules and regulations of the RBI for transferring the profit and all need to be looked into. CA YV Gopalam, he has a question. My question is on periodic update of the registered project. If there is any sale happening during the quarter, the builder is required to provide the details of buyer like name, flat number, etc., or just update the number units sold and its category. Kindly see when you are doing a quarterly progress report, though it is not related to today's subject, but since you have raised the question, I need to answer. During the quarterly progress report, you are not required to disclose the name, contact number, everything to the anybody. What you need to do is, what are the number, which is the number of flat, whether it is sold or it is remained to be unsold. That is the only information you need to give. You don't have to give anything else. Shashank, am I correct?
Yes, sir.
We don't have to give the contact details and all. But yes, in Gujarat RERA, they are taking the contact details, name, everything, and they are preserving with themselves. And they are also mentioning in the sales quarterly report ki who is the purchaser. Let us say Ramesh Prabhu has purchased, they will say R dot 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 P dot dot dot. So they don't disclose the name, but definitely the initials of the purchases are being recorded so that it gives an indication that these flats are sold. Otherwise, simple information is enough. But what such details are required to be provided? Sir, the detail required to be given is very simple. The flat number and the date when you have sold the flat. That's it. Nothing beyond that you are required to give. And whether it is sold or unsold. So thank you. I think Gopalan has given the thanks. With this, there may be a lot of questions. We will relieve Shamsundar Patil sir. And if you want to be there, you can always be with us. You can put your camera off so that you can listen to the talk of Swati Paradkar. And of course, Shashank Jain is there with you. I also will take leave. Shashank Jain will also answer the questions of the participants because he is one of the RERA leaders. 4 days RERA program he has done, and he is a contributor to our MahaRERA law and practice book, which of course Shamsundar Patil also is one of the contributors there. And Swati Paradkar is the new faculty she is giving today. Swati, thank you very much for accepting our invitation and taking that courage. Of course, she has been in practice for last 4 to 5 years into RERA, registration, litigation, and discussion. And she shared the PPT with me. We discussed, and then she is giving today And today's lecture, as Shamsundar Patil separately pointed out, is a checklist, documentation. What are the documents one required to keep it ready before you apply for the RERA? Because it's all becoming online. So this is going to be the very crucial lecture today. And of course, Shashank Jain has done an n number of registration. He has a handholding, and he is a deputy convener in our RERA study circle and study group at the Western India of Regional Council of Institute of Chartered Accountants from India. And there also he has given a lecture on the pitfalls and the checklist where the people make common mistakes, and he has addressed how it should be resolved. So thank you all of you being with us, and over to you, Swati.
Thank you so much for providing me the opportunity. Also, I would like to thank Patil sir for being there and Shashank Jain sir for being there. Let me just share my screen. We'll proceed with the today's discussion regarding checklist and methodology for MahaRERA registration. To successfully register a real estate project under MahaRERA, developer must collect and organize the comprehensive set of documents and information. This detailed checklist outlines the key elements required for seamless RERA registration project. What are the sections governing this registration process are Chapter 2, Section 4 of RERA Act 2016, read with Rule 3 of MahaRERA Rules 2017-2019 as amended from time to time. Today we are going to discuss the 5 main topics, that is KYC of the developer, then land ownership documents, project related information, project financial information, and documents in prescribed format. Now let us begin with the today's topic. First, we will begin with the KYC of the developer and related documents. Here we need to get the documents related to formation of the entity of the developer, then identification details of the key personnel of the developer, then authority letter if any, and communication details. Now, under formation documents, we need to first see what is the type of entity the developer is. Whether it is proprietorship, whether it is partnership firm, whether it is company or LLP or any other form of entity. Accordingly, we need to get the documents. In case of partnership firm, get the partnership deeds. In case of company and LLP, get the certificate of incorporation. And MOA, AOA in case of companies, then LLP deeds, and in case of proprietor, get the Udyam registration certificate and get the GST number of all these any of the entities. And in case if there is any other formation, then get the required document accordingly. Now we will have to get the identification details of the key personnel of the developer entity, that is PAN card, Aadhaar card, director identification number if the developer is company or LLP, email IDs and mobile numbers, and photograph of all the partners, director, chairpersons, and landowners in case there is a joint development project. Now get the email ID and mobile numbers unique for all the key personnel. Don't use the same email ID and mobile number. Get the unique number which are actually used by the key personnel. Then in case the developer is other than individual, please get the authority letter from all the chairpersons, all the key personnel of the entity towards the one person who is signing the documents on behalf of the developer. One important thing is communication details. Communication details as in email ID and mobile numbers of an organization. We need to get the email ID which is all time accessible throughout the life of the project, because any communication to and from MahaRERA will be directed through this email ID only. So one must note the email ID which is all time accessible throughout the life of the project. Apart from KYC, if the developer is having any past experience in past 5 years, get the details as below. That is project name, number of apartment, total cost, original proposed date of completion, actual completion date, etc. Here, please note that if the developer is having experience, then don't skip this field, because as it is RERA is having the RERA registration for that project. RERA is already having the details, but then it is not meaning to skip these details. So please enter these details if developer is having any experience. Now come to the land ownership documents. Here firstly we need to see what type of ownership the developer is having, whether the land is owned by the developer or he is having any kind of joint development agreement with other person. Accordingly, we need to get the documents. If the land is owned by the developer himself, then get the conveyance deed or sale deed or 712 extract or property code. If the land is of joint development agreement kind of, then get the joint development agreement. Apart from that, get the land conversion documents. Of course, if developer is constructing any project, the land needs to be non-agriculture. So get the documents related to land conversion. That is any order. Apart from all this, one most important thing we always skip, and we start to find out it on the while filing up the application form, that is land boundaries. Then if joint development agreement or sale deed has mentioned the land boundaries clearly, then we can put that data and fill it in the application form. But if the joint development agreements or sale deed or any document, there is no clear indication that what are the land boundaries, that is, what are the land adjacent to the project land or any other adjacent road or anything is there, then please get the details from the developer on letterhead, because these boundaries details are also very important. Otherwise, it will lead to a litigation in future related to the demarcation of land or project land. So please make sure that you are having a correct details regarding the land boundaries. Next is project related information. Here we need to get a lot of details and documents from the developer. To start with, we need to get the approvals from the developer, that is commencement certificate, approved and sanctioned plans, layouts of the plot area. Here I would like to say that verify these original documents, get the original commencement certificate, get that big blueprint plan. Of course, nowadays the plans and layouts come in the digitally signed form, then you need not have to get that big plans to verify, but otherwise you need to get those original plans, verify it thoroughly and scan it in a readable format, so that you can upload it in the document section under the RERA application. Then you need to get the form 1, 2 and 3, which is certifying authority, certifying professionals are issuing this form. Form 1 is from architect, form 2 is from engineer, form 3 is from chartered accountant. All the formats of these forms are available on the MahaRERA website under mahaonline.gov.in website under new forms section. You will get this forms format of these forms. Make sure that developer is also accepting this form by signing the form at the end of the form. It is already mentioned in the prescribed format also. Apart from this, you need to get the project professional details. Project professional details means name, address, email and mobile numbers of an architect, engineer, chartered accountant who is certifying form 3, chartered accountant who is certifying form 5, and contractor and real estate broker. Now, as per order number 53 of 2024, the real estate broker, the name of the broker should be registered under RERA. Only that broker developer should mention here in the application. One important thing related to project, we need to get it from the developer. Of course, we are not going to upload this as it is anywhere, but we need to mention these details in the application form on several places. That is list of inventories, number of parkings, type of inventories, that is whether the flat is 1 BHK, 2 BHK, 3 BHK or it is shop, and parking details like it is closed parking or open parking. Then we need to get the RERA carpet area. Many times what happened that approved plans are on built up area basis. So we need to convert the built up area to RERA carpet area, because in RERA application we need to put RERA carpet area everywhere and not the built up area. So you need to get the details of what are the built up area and what are the RERA carpet area for the same unit. So it is better if you get the details on the letterhead by the developer, duly signed by his architect also. Apart from that, ready reckoner rate of this inventory you need to put for that particular financial year, the year in which you are applying for the RERA registration. So here I would like to say that developer should get the ready reckoner rate from the advocate himself. That otherwise you can get it from the igrmaharashtra.gov.in site. You can get the ready reckoner rate for that particular region or plot area. Then apart from that, we need to get some technical details. As a chartered accountant, may not be well versed with this kind of technical details. So it is better if you get it confirmed with the developer. That is number of planes, number of state, number of podiums, number of basements, number of closed and open parking. So get the details from the developer on the letterhead by the developer, so that you can keep these records in keep this in your record for future references. Then proposed date of completion. In the application at several places and few of the documents also you need to put this proposed date of completion. Nowadays RERA is not verifying this date of completion with any of the documents which are already uploaded, that is joint development agreement or draft sale agreement. But if the date is mentioned in any of these documents, please put the same date. Otherwise, it will be a mismatch and RERA may raise a query here. If the date of completion is not mentioned in any of the documents, then please put that date which is having a reasonable time period to complete the project. Otherwise, what will happen that you need to extend your project completion date many times, and for extension beyond 1 year you need to get the consent from all the allottees. So it is better if you put a reasonable time gap for the proposed date of completion. Then built up area and RERA carpet area. We have already discussed that. Get the certificate from architect or a developer containing the area statement wherein built up and RERA carpet area of each unit will be mentioned. Apart from that, if there is any litigation related to land or the project, get the details from the developer. That is, if any court case or legal case is going on, get the case reference document. Then get the status of the cases. If the case is closed or cleared out, then get the order of that case and put the details in the litigation column. Apart from these project related documents, the RERA has asked the developer to register himself under these list of SRO, any one of these SRO. The list of SRO are CREDAI in Maharashtra, then CREDAI MCHI, National Real Estate Development Council, Builders Association of India, Marathi Bankam Vyavasayik Association, Bruhan Mumbai Developer Association, CREDAI Pune Metro, Public Authority, that is SIDCO and MHADA, and Union Territory. Developer has to register himself under any one of these association. Now what developer can do, he can do registration for himself as an entity, or he can register a standalone project as well here under this any of this entity. Now RERA has asked the developer to open a RERA designated account. Nowadays bank is opening 3 accounts under this. One is collection account, that is 100%, one is separate account, that is 70%, and one is transaction account, that is 30%. Now, as per discussion paper dated 15/3/2024, and section 4 subsection 2, we need to put the account details of the separate account and not the collection account. So here we need to inform the developer that banker of the home loan home buyer are asking the collection account details, and they are verifying these details on the RERA website. So we need to educate the developers and ask the developers to convey this to the banker that the separate account is 70% account as per section 4 subsection 2 and not the collection account. So disbursement should go to the collection account and not the separate account, 70% account. And from that collection account, the bank will transfer 70% to separate account and 30% to transaction account. Of course, on form 1, 2, and 3 presentation of these three forms. Now here come the very crucial aspect of the project registration. for our interest as a chartered accountant. Project financial information. Project financial information, we need to get the project cost breakdown. Cost breakdown, here we need to get the land cost, but we need not have to put the land cost which is on the agreement, but we need to put the ASR value of land. ASR value of the land we can get it from again from the IGR website, igrmaharashtra.gov.in. Otherwise, we can get it from the advocate of an developer. Apart from ASR value, we need to put the premium cost, that is development rights, premium paid for development rights, FSI and TDR. We can get the challan copy from the developer for the payment of this premium fees. Apart from that, amount payable to any state government or any competent authority for stamp duty and registration. Here you can get the stamp duty and registration for the land conveyance fee or joint development agreement, etc. You can put it here. Then apart from that, estimated cost of construction as certified by engineer. This cost you will get it from the form 2, which is in the prescribed format. There you can get it from table A and table B. Together we can get this estimated cost of construction. Additional items not included in the estimated cost as per engineer certificate. Here you can put any other cost which is not included in any of the above tabs. You can add it here, which is not there in the engineer certificate form 2. Then expenditure for development of entire project other than any of the above all costs attributable to the project. You can put other costs which are not attributable to the above heads of cost. Then you can put it here, which are related to development of the entire project. Then you need to have a taxes, sales, fees, charges, premium, etc. payable to statutory authority for development of the project. And interest payable to financial institution. Get the information related to the borrowings or sources of funds from the developer. You can easily extract the interest payable to the financial institution as per the his arrangement of the funds. Now, in case of rehab project, construction cost of rehab building, we need to put cost towards clearance of land, that is rent, transit agreements, transit arrangements, removal of illegal occupants, overhead cost payable to any authorities towards and in the project of rehabilitation, and borrowing cost. Here also we need to put the borrowing cost. Then one more crucial important information we need to get from the developer, that project financial information. Under project financial information, project financing, that is sources of fund or means of finance, we need to discuss it with the developer. What are his arrangement towards the funds for this project? That is, how much fund he is infusing for the project, his own fund. Then how much fund he is going to borrow for this project in secured ways or unsecured ways. Then what are the proportion of the sale proceeds here, depending on the completion of the, depending on the funds for the completion of the project. So we need to discuss in detail with the developer for this, and we need to put the figures accordingly. Then for this financial information, of course, we need to have a profit and loss and balance sheet for expenses incurred till date of the project, and for other future also, for periodic updates also, we need to get the profit and loss and balance sheet and books of accounts from the developer. If you are not maintaining his books of accounts on his behalf, then you can get a self-certified profit and loss and balance sheet for this financial details purpose. Then if you are maintaining the books of accounts, get the supporting documents for all the expenses he incurred till date and in future, whatever the expenses he has incurred, get the supporting documents, book the expenses accordingly, and get the sources of funds used for this expenditure till date. What are the sources he has used, that is his own fund, or he has borrowed anything already, or any other arrangement he has made. We need to write the books accordingly, that is expenses in the P&L and sources of funds in the balance sheet, and accordingly prepare the financials for the developer. And also I would request here that you get the certified copy from the developer himself, because we are not we are not preparing these books as an we are not verifying this book in capacity as an auditor here. So we need to get the at least certified profit and loss and balance sheet from the developer. because we ultimately we are relying on this information for issuance of Form 3, where we are certifying these figures and facts. So it is better if we get the certified copies from the developer. Then lastly, one important is that documents in the prescribed format. Now RERA has asked some documents in the prescribed format, like Form B. Form B is an affidavit by developer and all the landowners in case the project is under joint development. The format is there in the mahaonline.gov.in. You can get this format, Form B format. Then apart from that, title report, the flow of land in the prescribed format from legal professional. The developer needs to get the legal title report from the advocate in the prescribed format. Then agreement for sale and allotment letter. Pro forma agreement for sale and allotment letter. If there is any deviation in the allotment letter and agreement for sale from the model agreement, which the RERA has prescribed to standardize the industry practice. So, if there is any deviation, you need to declare this deviation on the letterhead, that what are the clauses you are deviating from and what are the new clauses you are putting in. Of course, there is some limitation that you cannot edit, or you cannot exclude or edit some clauses, but otherwise you can deviate it and you can mention what are the deviations you are making from the model agreement and model allotment letters. Then apart from this, some of the declarations the RERA has asked us to get it on the letterhead from the developer. The declaration about the commencement certificate, disclosure of interest in other real estate organizations, separate bank account details, including no encumbrance on bank account or no escrow on the same. Declaration in Annexure A. This is new clause RERA has inserted. According to order number 50 of 2024, which state that there is no subsisting application pending for the same project or same land by the developer by any other name or any other form. We need to get the declaration from the developer for this. The formats we will see it in a later part of this presentation together for all these formats. Now, these are the documents which are prescribed. The RERA has prescribed the format for which you just need to fill the details of the developer. And one important thing here, that if any detail in the format which is not applicable to the developer, I would suggest that don't delete these clauses or don't delete this any of the part of the prescribed format. Just strike it off. Otherwise, RERA officers may think that you are not giving the format in the prescribed format, details in prescribed format. So it is better if you strike out the details which are not applicable and don't delete the details. Apart from prescribed formats, there are some other documents RERA is asking for, but the format for there is not prescribed by the RERA authority. So these are the declarations. Mainly, we need to give it on the letterhead of the developer. That is, details of encumbrance concerning to finance and legal title. SERSI details. The SERSI details you can get from the sersi.org.in. But if the details of the that plot is not available on SERSI website, you can just declare on the letterhead that the report is not available on the website and there is no lien or any charge on the land. So you can declare it on the letterhead and upload it. Then deviation report, we have already discussed the deviation report in respect to allotment letter and model copy of agreement. If any, we can declare it on the letterhead. Then one more new thing RERA has asked nowadays to upload the document for, that is home buyer allottee grievance redresser cell. Here you need to put the contact details of the developer, wherein any allottee, if he is having any grievances, he can address the issue to the developer on this given contact details. Apart from this, any other document which is not listed over here but which is applicable to your project, developer project, you need to add it here. Now, one thing you can add it here, that nowadays RERA is asking the authenticated copy of commencement certificate from certifying authority on an email to the MahaRERA. So you can you can attach the screenshot of the email which is sent by the certifying authority to the MahaRERA. You can attach that screenshot over here on the other documents section. Here is the list of the about whatever we have discussed till now. It is the just a list to which we need to get before we proceed with the application. Please make sure that you are having all these documents ready so that you can proceed with the filing of the application form. On filing of the application form, you need to pay the prescribed fees under the MahaRERA. Prescribed fee from for residential, commercial or mixed building project is rupees 10 per square meter of plot area and not the project area or FSI area. It is of the plot area. Minimum fee is 10,000 and maximum fee is 10 lakhs. Now, in case of plotted development, the fee is rupees 5 per square meter of plot area. That is the area which is plottable area. And minimum fee is 10,000 and maximum fee is 10 lakhs. Now, points to remember before we proceed with the filing of the application are, please note that application once submitted and documents once uploaded, those documents cannot be deleted, cannot be edited at any time during the lifetime of the project. So upload the very authentic and correct documents so that, and most of the documents are publicly visible. So please be cautious about the documents which you are uploading. Regarding the contact details, mainly email ID of the developer to be used for all future communication. So please make sure that email ID of the developer is accessible all the time throughout the life of the project by the developer, so that there won't be any miscommunication from the RERA authority. Then we have already discussed about the screenshot of an email related to authentication of CC from certifying authority. Please attach that screenshot under the other documents. Then one more important thing while filing the application form, that there is no copy paste option available. So you need to type everything, every detail you need to type, and many details are repeatedly you need to type. So make sure that like date of completion. So make sure that you are typing in same details in everywhere in the application. And apart from that, if the project name, be cautious about the project name. If the project name is misspelled in the application form, and if you find that you have misspelled it, then you need to delete the project, and entire details which you have so far filed up, all the details will be deleted, and you need to again refill the application form and correct the spelling and refill the application form. So be careful that you are putting all the details, all the spelling, etc., grammatic, etc., while filing the application form. Then there are many fields like PAN number and Aadhaar number, etc. You cannot alt tab your window while writing these details, and you cannot copy paste. So please keep the document handy so that you can just look at the document and write the details over there. So it will save your much of the time while filing the application. Also, make sure that on successfully filing of all the details on that page, and many times it gets logged out. If the page is kept open for longer time, and again we need to fill the entire details. Details won't be saved unless you filled all the required fields in that page under application form. So make sure that you are keeping documents handy and filing the detail application. Also note that documents which whatever documents you are scanning, please scan the original document. Don't scan the Xerox document of any of the document like joint development agreement or CC or any other letter here. Don't scan the Xerox copy. Scan the original documents itself. And document size should be 3 MB each. If the document is of bigger size, split the document in 3 MB each and add one after another. It is important in case of plans, approved plans. They are of bigger size, and to make it clear and readable, we need to part it in 2 or 3 and upload it one after another. In case of plotted development, there is no commencement certificate concept, but we need to upload the NA order, non-agricultural order, instead of CC. In the same field, you need to upload NA order. And table A in form A is not applicable for plotted development, and there will not be any OC for plotted development, but terms of NA order needs to be complied with. So make sure that if you're applying for the plotted development, get the NA order. Then on filing of all the details which are required and uploading all the documents which so far we have discussed, please ask the developer to verify the details before submission and payment. If we have skipped anything from our end, developer will get to know, he will not make us note about it, and we can rectify it before submission only, so that it will save much of the time. It won't be RERA won't be raising any query on that, so that registration process will be done in few time. Not it will not take much of the time. Then on submission of application. On submission of the application, RERA will verify all the project at 4 stages. Each desk will verify the details like legal desk, financial, technical, etc. They will raise the query if any after all the 4 desks verifies the document, and you need to comply with the same and resubmit the application. Remember, option to resubmit the application will be open only on completion of verification from all the 4 desks. Many times what has happened that RERA will raise the query, you will start responding the queries, you will start uploading the documents or changing the information, but you won't be able to resubmit the application because all the 4 days scrutiny is not yet completed. So on completion of all the 4 days scrutiny only, you will be able to get the option to resubmit the open option to the resubmit the application. Now, very important thing here is that as a chartered accountant, you need to get the appointment letter from the developer, scope of your work, and prescribe the fees over there. Get it signed by the developer, and if possible, get the part payment of the fees in advance before initiating activity of the registration. That is the more crucial thing. We many times missed it because the procedure is so lengthy and it takes a lot of time from the developer to get the document. In the initial discussion only, we are putting much of the time and much of the efforts to discuss the project details with the developer. So it is better if you get the part fees in advance. We will quickly go through the formats which are required to be uploaded. Form 1 and 2, I am not discussing it here. That is, it is a portion of architect and engineer. We just need to provide this format to the developer. He can get the certificate from the architect and engineer. So I am not discussing it here. Form 3, we need to get the details as we have already discussed. Many of the financial details we need to put it here. Under table A, we need to put the estimated cost of the project. We have already discussed this value of land cost and development cost, etc. Under table B, we need to put the actual cost incurred till date of the project. We have already discussed this. Then here we need to put the total cost of the project, actual incurred as on date of certificate, and we need to put this as per the engineer certificate, and net amount. The formula should be that we should compare the actual cost as per engineer and actual cost as per books of accounts, whatever we have verified, and take the minimum of both the figures, and then add it as a cost incurred till date. Then in the table C, sold inventory, we need to get the sold inventory. Of course, at the registration stage, there will not be any sold inventory as on date of registration. It will be used for later quarterly progress reporting purpose. Under unsold inventory, all the inventory details we have already taken from the developer on the letterhead. We need to put it in these columns. Then these are the comparisons between balance cost and receivable. So entire balance is receivable from unsold inventory as on date of registration. There won't be any sold inventory and any amount received. So it will be kept empty. Then designated bank account, we have already discussed. We need to put the 70% account over here. Details of 70% account over here. Opening balance will be nil. Then deposits, whatever we have developer has received as on date of registration, it will be nil. Withdrawal, if any we should put it here. Closing balance will be as it is from the bank statement. Then table F, means of finance. We have already discussed. We need to be very cautious about these details. We need to get the certified copies from the developer to fill up these details. Estimated, actual, proposed, and as on date of registration, both these columns will be same. Estimated and proposed estimated. As on date of registration, both will be same, and actual will be as per our books of account. So accordingly, we need to put the comments, if any, we are finding any qualifications or any comments, we need to put it here and generate the UDIN and sign the form, and also make sure that developer is accepting this form and signing this form as well. Then apart from this, form B, which is an affidavit, the prescribed format is already given. This we need to get it on the stamp paper of ₹100 and notarized by the advocate. Here you need to just put the fill in the blanks kind of thing, that is name of the person signing. Make sure that if there is a joint development agreement, we will put the make this form B for all the landowners, and if the land is jointly held by more than one person, all the landowners should get the separate form B, and also developer needs to get it signed. So for this is for the landowner. So I have put it co-promoter over here, and in case of developer, it will be promoter over here. Then you here is the legal title. You need to state here, that is how the title is flowing, that is survey number, then joint development agreement, if any, you need to put the clauses here. Okay, one more thing, I just remember that joint development agreement. Please make sure that joint development agreement is a registered document only. Don't get the MOU kind of thing or notarized joint development agreement. Get the registered document only. Otherwise, RERA will raise the query over there, and the project registration will get delayed. And it will get delayed up till 1 year also. It may get delayed because you have not provided the joint development agreement registered copy. So make sure that joint development agreement registered. Okay. Then here you need to put the proposed date of completion. Please make sure that there are two fields wherein you need to put this proposed date of completion in the application form. The same date you need to provide here only, here also. Otherwise, RERA will raise again the query for the difference in proposed date of completion. Now, as I have already mentioned, don't delete anything, just strike it out if anything is not applicable. Now here we are registering new project, so ongoing project clause is not applicable for the landowner and developer. So I am just striking out these clauses which are not applicable. And rest of the format is same, just get it signed and authenticated by the advocate. Let's quickly look at the formats which are not prescribed by the RERA, because prescribed format all will get it on the website of the mahaonline.gov.in. Related to deviation from model agreement, just plainly write that, declare that there is no deviation from model agreement and model agreement, model allotment letter and agreement for sale, and for the project, whatever the project name is. And if there is any deviation will happen in future, the same will be uploaded within stipulated time at the MahaRERA site. Just plainly write it down on the letterhead and get it signed by the developer, sign and stamp by the developer. Now what I have done that model agreement and allotment, I have kept only one letterhead and uploaded it twice under two separate columns, that is model allotment and model AFS, but the letterhead is same. I have mentioned both the things in one letterhead only. Then regarding legal encumbrance, here you need to put that there is no legal dispute of ownership concerning the land bearing whatever the land plot number is on which the above said project is proposed to be constructed in any court of law or with any individual, government body or financial institution, etc. Then similarly for the encumbrance, financial encumbrance, there is no charge by any institution, any person on the land site bearing so and so survey number on which above said plot is proposed to be constructed. Then CERSA report, as we have already discussed, if the CERSA details are not available on the CERSA website, you need to just write it down that there are no security interest charged on the said plot, whatever the plot number, name of the project, and the report is not available on the website. So you can just put all the details over here, whatever are applicable to you. Then, as I have already mentioned, that get these details on the letterhead. You need not have to upload these details anywhere in the application form, but you need to keep these details in your records for future references, because the details which you are filing up in the application form, you can get it from here regarding the carpet area of the unit, area share, if in case the joint development, whether this unit is belongs to the landowner, belongs to the developer. Accordingly, you write it down over here under area share. And estimated sale value of unit consideration, that is ASR value. Again, you will get it from the joint AGR Maharashtra side, or get it from the advocate of a developer. These are the formats. You can use this format as well. We will share it afterwards, after this session. Otherwise, you can get it nowadays. You can get it from the Chat GPT or AI tools. Many AI tools are there for drafting. So you can draft your own format and use it for the uploading purpose. And these are the prescribed formats. Prescribed formats, you just have to fill the details as applicable. Prescribed formats are declaration about commencement certificate. Here you need to put the approving authority, date of approval, number of floors which are approved till date of registration. Many times part CC came, so you need to put the floors which are approved till date of registration, not the entire project. Then plans approving authority, date of approval, etc. Then quickly we will go to the format A, declaration about separate bank account. As we have discussed, mention the 70% account here, and account number, bank account, branch name, IFSC code over here. Strike out whatever is not applicable over here, and get it signed. Then disclosure of interest in other real estate organization. Here they have asked the details if the director or any designated partner or proprietor, any chairperson of the developer, if they are also having any interest in any other real estate project, you need to put all these details. Means if the partner of this developer partnership firm is a partner in any other firm, the and that firm is having any project, so you need to put that details as well over here. What are the details required are name of the organization, address, RERA registration number, proposed date of completion, any complaint if any raised, then complaint number of if any complaint is raised, and project being revoked by the RERA. If it is revoked, just write it yes. If it is not, write it no. Then declaration cum undertaking. This is regarding the declaration regarding the if there is no any other application pending for the said plot or said land, you need to declare this in this format that there is no any application pending before this registration application. Then this is just CREDI MCHI, the SRO registration we have discussed. CREDI MCHI is asking this self declaration. Here we need to write. You need to just put the attach the document signed and send this form along with the application form and prescribed fees for the registration under CREDI MCHI for the project. So you can use this format. Make a note of this format. Make a format ready in, and you can use it. Now model AFS agreement, agreement for sale, model agreement for sale is in English as well as in Marathi also available on the website. You can use in the as per the developer convenience. If many times out of Mumbai, there are many developers, they are still registering the agreement in Marathi. So you can use this Marathi format also. Then model allotment letter, the format, I am not discussing it, just quickly just showing that allotment format is also there on the RERA website. You can use it there. And for title, yeah, title format is not available under the document section, but it is available under the circular section. Circular number 28 2021. You can get the title format. You will not get it in the downloads new forms section under on the website. So get it from the circular format. Here is the format, legal title report. and flow of the title. The advocate will do the rest of the things in the title report. Just provide this format to the developer and ask him to get the report in this format. I think I have covered almost all the things, all the checklists related to registration.
In case of joint development agreement, land cost is taken at ASR value and the construction cost of landowner's unit has been excluded from the construction cost.
I think, sir, in case of joint development, there would not be any land cost directly attributable and to be noting under the land cost ASR value. Instead, we need to add the construction of the area which is we are constructing and we are handing over to the landowner. So add the construction cost as per the books of accounts under the construction cost, and I don't think we should add the land cost.
The inventory what we are showing now, it will not contain the inventory of the landowners.
I also used to not include this landowner share inventory, but one or two of my projects they have raised a query that the area which we are putting in the application form and area which we are putting in the form 3, they are not same. So I have started mentioning that landowner's inventory, and throughout the form 3 for any quarterly report also the form 3 the inventory will be there under unsold, and there won't be any cost. There
Yes,
won't be
it will be nil.
yeah, it will be nil.
Yeah, may I ask one more? The land is for the project and I am putting the project land value at ASR. Now, whatever the construction area to be given to the landowners, that I am excluding. I am showing it into the unsold inventory under the area and valuation. I am not putting anything. Then what?
Sir, here you need to every time you need to separate the books of account. What are the costs incurred for the area which you are handing over to the landowner, and what are the area which you are constructing for the sale purpose for developer share. So it will be very tedious kind of thing as a chartered accountant. It will be very tedious kind of thing. So it is better if you put construction cost together under construction cost, and land cost will be nil at under ASR value will be nil. I think Prabhu sir can better answer this question than me.
No, no, you have rightly answered. See, Radhesham, we cannot, go on doing permutation, combination, and all. Therefore, considering this type of grievances or questions, now MahaRERA is going to come out saying that there will be only one RERA account, there will be one plot, one project, and even if you have area sharing arrangement, still all the money has to be routed through the one resin account. In that case, everything should be shown together only. So these are the confusions which are there. Now it will be shortly removed. So now let us not get into various intricacies, because form number 3 and 5 we are going to discuss separately. On Friday, we have kept a session on quarterly progress report. I think it has been posted in the this one also, because a lot of demand was there that quarterly progress report we want to understand. Now there is a question in the chat box. Many questions are there. Let me tell you, we will try to take up these questions in the next session. Shashank Jain also will be there within the next session. So thank you very much for being with us. Shamsundar Patil sir, thank you very much. You have spared, at least 1.5 hours with us, and you have opened the session. Thank you, Shashank. I
Thank you very
it
much.
was, it was very lively of Shashank Jain to give a support and guide our faculty. Thank you, Swati. You are most, very nicely you have explained today. I was very happy and I was listening very carefully. Now coming to the session, because RERA people wanted physical session, so we have kept a physical session on 6th and 7th of July on RERA, redevelopment and housing society management at Bhayindar. Those who are in Danu to, let us say, at least up to Bandra, they should be in a position to attend this session. It is a very going to be interesting session, because nearly 7 to 8 IAS officers, including Shamsundar Patil sir, Gautam Chatterjee sir, and various other IAS officers are going to be there, and they will guide us in every session. and it will be more of a orientation program where we will have a panel discussion. So a lot of panelists will be there to answer your questions. So I sincerely request each one of you to register to that course. Thank you very much. Thank you participants for being with us and joining this course and taking active part. Similarly, the presenter who has taken enough pain to present the session today, panelists and the participants who have made it very interactive. I request you, any questions are there, you can always email to us. My email address is rsprabhu13@gmail.com, and if you want, you can send the message on WhatsApp, which of course is in the description box. Still, you can take out the number 9820106766, and you can reach out to us anytime, and any new topic that you want to have a discussion on Prabhu Se Khas Baat or the courses physical or even on Zoom, on any time, on online, we will be very happy to organize that. You can be a presenter, you can be a faculty, you can be organizing part of the organizing committee, you can also learn. All these are open. The purpose is to empower every chartered accountant to enter into new area of practice, new area of profession, so that you are able to build your profession in a better way. Thank you very much.